Hello, in this video we are going to try to learn procedure of graphing a quadratic function. Okay, so first of all we will try to first learn how to plot a quadratic function and if that function is in standard form, so which is function of x a x minus h square plus k. So this is the standard form of any quadratic function. So we are going to try to learn how to plot this type of function. So what I am going to do is, as usual, I am going to basically divide my screen into two, and on the left hand side I'm going to write down the steps. Okay, I'm going to write down the steps, and on the right hand side I'm going to try to solve a problem. So what is the problem? The problem is a sketch function of x equals -3 x plus 2 square plus 12. So this is the function given. We need to sketch it. Okay, so let us start each step by step. Okay, so first of all, step number 1 is identify hk. So identify a, h and k from the equations. Okay, so let us see now. So number 1 step for this problem, so let me rewrite the function. So I have function of x equals, here I have -3, and then what I have, x actually plus 2. Okay, so let's see if I rewrite x plus 2 as x minus 2. So I essentially get minus multiplied by -2 is +2, and then the whole thing square plus 12. Now if I compare this equation with my this quadratic equation in standard form, what can I write? I can write my a equals -3, and my h is equals -2, and my k equals 12. So essentially my vertex is where -2 to 12. So this is my vertex. All right, so this is step number 1. Good. So now let us see the step number 2. So in step number 2, if a is greater than 0, then function what opens up, function open up, and if a is less than 0, then my function open down. Okay, so for step number 2 of our problem, what I have, my a is what, my a for this problem is -3, and which is what, less than 0. So my function is going to do what, open down. Okay, now what I am going to do actually is I am going to try to sketch or plot whatever I have up until now. So let me try to do so. So this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. Let me extend it a little bit. So what I know that my vertex is what, at -2 to 12. So let me try to say, so let's say this is my vertex and this point is at -2 12. Okay, and what I know now, I know that my function is opens down. Okay, so what I am going to do is actually, as we all know, that a parabola is what, symmetric about the vertical line passes through the vertex. Okay, all right, and my parabola opens down. So if I plot opens down, okay, and I am going to draw this last extension after I find out more. So that's what I know up until step number 2. All right, so now let us see step number 3. Step number 3 is of course the vertex. So we already found out the vertex. So vertex is at HK, and we already find step number 3. My vertex is where? My vertex is -2 12 point, which we already plotted here. Okay, so now let's look at step number 4. So in the step number 4, we want to find what, this x-intercept. Okay, as you can see here, this is my x-intercept, and I'm going to have another x-intercept from the other wings. So let me use another color. So find x-intercept, find x-intercept. Now you might remember from our previous section, to find x-intercept, what we need to do, we need to put y equal to 0. Okay, so no, sorry, to find x-intercept we need to put yes, we need to put y equal to 0. So I'm correct in the first time. So y is actually what, function of x, and I need to put y equal to 0 in that equation. Okay, now let us see my step number 4 for my particular equation. So first of all, let's see, this is my function of x is what, -3x plus 2 square plus 12. Now I am going to put what, function of x or y equal to 0 for my step number 4. So let me go down. So my step number 4 is what, my step number 4 is, let me rewrite my original function. My original function is what, -3 x plus 2 square plus 12, and as I want to find x-intercept, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put y equal to 0. So y, which is function of x, equal to 0. So what I got, I got 0 equals, so I got 0 equals what, -3 x plus 2 square plus 12. So now let me bring this on the left hand side. Okay, so what I get -3 x plus 2 square equals 12. Okay, now I am going to divide both sides by -3. I'm going to divide both sides by -3. So what I get finally, so I get x plus 2 square equals -4. Oh no, I make a mistake actually. When I basically take this -3x plus 2 on the other side, it will be +3. So this will be +3, this will be +3, so this will be +4. Okay, So now what I get x plus 2 equals what? Plus minus square root of 4, which is plus minus 2. So I can write x plus 2 equals plus 2, or an and x plus 2 equals minus 2. So I got what? I got here x equal to 0, and here I got x equals minus 4. So what are my x intercept? My x intercept is x equal to 0, y equal to 0. This is 1 point, and for the other x intercept, x equal to -4, y equal to 0. So these are my two x intercept. So if I try to plot these 2 point in my graph, so this is basically what? My -4, 0, and another x intercept will be where? At 0, 0 point. So this is at 0, 0 point. So now I can extend it, so I know that this arm is going to go down this manner. Okay, now let us see the final step. Okay, the final step is step number 5. Find y intercept. Okay, so if you remember in our previous classes, that to find y intercept we need to put x equal to 0. So put x equal to 0 in the equation. Put x equal to 0. Okay, so now let us look at our step number 5 for our particular problem. So I have what? I have y equals function of x, which is what? -3 x plus 2 square plus 12. Now I want to put what? X equal to 0 for my y intercept. So what I get? Y equals -3, and this time x is 0 plus 2 square plus 12. So I basically got -3 multiplied by 2 square equal to 4 plus 12. So this is -12, this is +12. So I basically get y equal to 0. So what is going to be my y intercept? X equal to 0 and y equal to 0. So this is my y intercept of my graph, and we already have seen that y intercept for this graph is also 0, 0. So finally this is basically our final plot of our quadratic function. Okay, and in the next video we are going to learn a plot of quadratic function when the function is given in general form.